Everyone, I'm here with favorites for the month of January. Yay! First month of 2020. I'm here with favorites. I feel like I don't have a ton of things. I say that every time. But I'm going to just go through and talk to you about some of my favorite things for the month. Some of these are not necessarily new. That's okay, whatever, it's my channel, and I'm just going to talk about my favorite things. So yes, January already is the end, and we're going into February. I cannot believe it, but here we are in the future. So let's get started. I'm going to go through decks and then books and then just kind of some more mundane type stuff. So if you're just interested in decks and books and things, once I've done that, you can, click off or whatever. But if not, stick around. I would love to have you stick around. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's get on with it. So first of all, one of my favorite decks of all time, and the deck I've been using for January, and you're probably sick of hearing about it, is the Revelations Tarot. I've had this one for a while. I love, love, love this deck so much. Why do I love it? Because it is reversible. It's got an upright picture, and it's got an upside down picture, and if you read reversals like I do, I think that is absolutely amazing. I'm actually going to be doing a series later where I am on my Patreon. I'll let you know when it's up, where I'm going to be teaching reversals, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I'll let you know. But I love the colors in this deck. It's so colorful, and this time of year tends to be, it's still pretty dark where I live. It's very white. Everything's like, covered in snow. So having this like pop of color, I just find very, very nice and refreshing. So there's the upside down wheel. I also love kind of the stained glass type imagery or style on here. It's upright. And then we have upside down. This is a really great deck if you want to learn reversals, because the pictures kind of help cue you to what they mean and what they are. There's the Six of Wands. And reverse. This is very, I think it's cool. And then of course, like, he's got the kind of the color coding, like the pentacles are all like sort of green and yellow. The swords are like these purpley blue. The major arcana are like full color, like all the colors. The cups, depends. Some of these cups are red, so they don't all totally match. They've got mermaids in the cups, though. I quite like that. It's very, very cool. Anyway, I love this deck. As you can see by the edges, it's a bit worn because it's been used a lot and loved a lot, and it's my January deck, so I love working with that. So yeah, that's my favorite tarot deck for this month. I've also been working with another old favorite for Oracle decks, and that is the Oracle of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This is my first Jasmine Beckett Griffith deck, and it is the reason I got into her. Actually, a friend of mine bought this for me. She saw it in an airport of all places, I think she said, like an airport bookstore of all places, right? So pretty cool. It's kind of got these steampunky figures. It's an oracle deck, but it's definitely an oracle deck with a bit of a dark side, which I really do love. It's very gothy. Look at that emo, that angry emo chick. It's so good. Yeah, it's got a very gothy, steampunky fairy type vibe to it. It's got absinthe. I mean, love absinthe. More skeletons. Gotta love that. Got these trick-or-treaters here. I love this deck. Oh, look at that little green witch. She's like a little Ethelba. Is that the one from Wicked? It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. These little clockworks in the pumpkin. Got the snow fairy, another fairy. Love it. So I love this deck. And again, it's got that nice, it's colorful, but it's dark. I like it. So very much a favorite, an old favorite of mine. I'm going to be going through and culling some of my decks. These two are not going to be culled. They're not going anywhere. Love these two decks. As for books, I haven't been reading any really new ones. I posted a witchy bookshelf video last week, so I've already kind of talked about books. But I do want to mention the book that we're doing in our book club, which should be finishing up this week, which is the High Magic book by Damien Eccles. It is like a pretty short read. It's not terribly long. It's got some nice practices in here. And it's just, I like hearing his story, and he gives you some really like practical tips. I think this is good too because it kind of shows like people think with high magic you've got to have all this stuff, like magical stuff and crazy stuff. But it just shows like because he was in prison, really he just had himself to work with. So this is just really like a lot of sort of like mind magic, I would almost call it. It's very much about practices. It's all about using things like the middle pillar and the it's on the tip of my tongue. I can see doing it. What is it? It's coming to me. I will think of it later. It's a very famous practice. I know what it is. I do it, but the name has escaped me at any rate. He's got some really great spiritual practices in here. He talks a lot about things like meditation, which I think is just the basics, as well as visualization as well, which is, like pretty standard stuff. But sometimes we get away from the basics and we forget about like how truly effective that those things can be. So yes, lesser banishing ritual. It just came to me. I knew I would get it in my head. The other thing I've been loving is the Honeycomb Personal Almanac. I don't know if I showed this before. This is amazing. I think I did a video about this. This is a personal almanac. So I can't even believe that they do this, but basically Honeycomb Collective, if you go to their website, you punch in your birth details, so your date, time, and place of birth, and they will produce one of these for you. And it's very cost effective, and it came relatively fast. And I'm in Canada, so I think in the States you get free shipping. But even for me with not the free shipping, it still was, I thought, a very reasonable price for what it is. It is basically a calendar date book that has all of the aspects every day, but also aspects particular to you. So it has the general aspects affecting everyone, but also transits that are affecting your personal birth chart. This is an almanac just for you. It's in the time zone that you're in. It is amazing. It is great if you are a more advanced astrology student. So they have here, it's hard to see on this camera, but it's not going to show it. The ones in lighter font are the ones affecting everyone. It's hard to see in here, but there's some in like darker, more colorful font, a little easier to see there, that are affecting you personally. And what I've been doing is I've been going through and just noting stuff that happens during the day to kind of see what aspects are affecting me and how they play out in my life. And it's been a very interesting experiment, that's for sure. And also they have in this book too, these kind of charts that show you for the longer transits, how long they're affecting you throughout the year. So it's got the months across the top, and then they got these lines showing you how long it's affecting you. So you can really look at some of the larger trends that are going on in your life. So very, very handy for astrology students that are looking to go beyond just the basics. I find this fascinating, very interesting, and very affordable. So I would encourage people to go look at them if you're interested in that kind of thing. Next, I have on my favorites list some odds and ends. The first is my day planner that I made myself. Yes, I got some other day planners, but I just found in the end I kind of liked making my own, and it's a lot more personal. I've got my little vision board at the front. I make little heading pages for each month. I also, for each month, I have like a calendar with stuff going on. And it's got all the major aspects on there as well. I then have a one for monthly goals, and I have like a tracking page for like habits and my mood. And then for each week, I have on this side, I have each day, so all of my appointments and things. And on this side, I've got different lists for like art and business and personal stuff. So my goals for the week, because I kind of look at everything week by week, what has to get done. And then at the end of each month, I have a little wrap up as well as to goals and, what I met, what I didn't meet, that kind of thing. So I've been really enjoying making this and also using it as well. And it's just, a really fun personal thing to do. So I've been enjoying that. As for other things, I'm going to insert a picture of my desk fan. Maybe that's boring, but I really needed a desk fan at work. It's so cute. It's about this big. It's so cute. It says Holmes right in the middle, which is the company name, but that's okay because I call him Holmes. And he just plugs into my computer. And sometimes, like, I'm sure for those of you who work in offices, you know this. It's a big building. It's not always the most efficiently climate controlled. So sometimes it's chilly and sometimes it's hot. And I never know how to dress. So it can be like minus 40 outside, be ridiculously cold, and then I go into the office and I'm hot. How do you even dress for that, right? So you gotta dress in layers, first of all. But my little office fan, if I get a little too hot, I can just put my fan on, be cool. It's nice. It's lovely. What can I say? It's the little things, right? And then on the other side, that's a cooling thing. I don't know if I showed this last month or not. I got some more leggings that are fuzzy inside. And when you live in a very cold climate, as I do, you need those. So it's all like fuzzy and warm inside. So you can wear leggings, but also be super warm. I have several pairs of these. These are my winter leggings. Yes, I have winter leggings. These were bought to me by a coworker, which was really lovely. They said this made them think of me. It's got all these beautiful sugar skulls on it. They're just like warm and fuzzy, and I love the pattern so much, and they're one of my new favorite things. And then I went to Bath & Body Works because I needed more soap, smelly soap. They came out with a new scent. Now, I'm always having trouble finding scents I really love. I loved their Twilight Woods back in the day, a few years ago, but of course they got rid of that. They had to get rid of, the scent that I just love. But I did find this one, which, okay, it'll never be as good as Twilight Woods, but it's Into the Night. I like the shiny, very New Year's-y, this kind of bottle. And it says it has raspberry, velvet rose petals, and creamy patchouli. So basically raspberry, rose, and patchouli. And I really love the smell of this thing. Wish I had smell-o-vision, and then you could all smell it. Ah, it smells so good. I think there's something about that sort of citrus or like berry and like floral mix, but not overly floral. That's nice, and the patchouli doesn't make it overly sweet either, so it's a nice combination. So I think I'm going to use that for a while, for sure. I'm not a lady that, I don't want to be overly like scented, but at the same time, if something's like too calm or bland, I'm just sort of like meh about it. So I do like scents that are a little more punchy, maybe. Yes, that kind of thing. So yeah, those are all my favorites for the month of January. And of course, all of you, if you want to join me at the Rock and Roll Witches, which is an open free group. I also have my Patreon as well. And thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Just so you know, next week, or not next, well, I guess it's next week because next week is February. For the month of February, on the Witch School, we are going to be talking about angels and not your Doreen Virtue angels. It's just an okay place to start, but we're going to be talking about angels, everything from archangels to guardian angels to fallen angels, talking about it all. And then in the coven, we are going to be working with Uranus. We're going to be working with the trickster archetype, and we're going to be working on our big dreams and goals for the year of 2020. What are your big over-the-top dreams? We're going to be talking about all those kind of things. Where the theme is, I find with trickster gods, things like Uranus, who is, a bit of a trickster in some ways. It's really about curiosity, and that's going to be one of our big themes, like being curious about things, not just automatically dismissing that you can't do something. So it's really going to be talking about curiosity and developing curiosity in our lives. So yeah, that's what I've got planned. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way to the end of this, thank you. And as always, peace and love and rock.